All right.
Do I have to make the Saran wrap noise? Or you...
I do that. I mean, you could try.
Do you do it with your mouth? Is that?
I actually took Saran wrap and crumpled it up and recorded it.
Nice.
Wait, I have to have my desk up.
We have to feel like we're back in school.
You ready?
Wait.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 3 of the Saran wrap. I'm here with Jasmine, sack of weed. How do you actually pronounce your last name?
Sawaged.
I've known you for like a long time too, so it's pretty bad that I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's okay, like 99% of people don't know how to say my last name.
I'm just gonna keep calling you sack of weed.
That's fine.
That's fine?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyways, I've known Jasmine since I was a junior in college, maybe.
Yeah.
Is that right?
How many years older are you than me?
I'm 24.
Okay, so yeah, because I was a freshman, and I'm 2 years younger.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna let Jasmine explain who she is, introduce herself to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Nice sweatshirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Representing.
Hey. Take it away.
Okay, so like you said, my name's Jasmine. I work with Jason with the Alba Fitness brand. I do a lot of like the promotional stuff, making like pictures and videos for the new clothes that come out. Mm-hmm. We've been doing that on and off for a few years. Other than that, I am a mechanical engineer. I studied here at Rutgers. That's how I met Jason. And yeah, I'm like really into fitness. I'm a certified personal trainer. I haven't really used that in real life yet. But yeah, so we've connected. The way we met.
Yeah, this is honestly like I just had a tire blank for that. I have no idea how we met.
So so I remember because my friend Shireen, shout out to Shireen Abdulhadi.
What's up, Shireen?
Yeah, one of my best friends. I remember she like texted me and she was like, this kid Jason started this clothing brand. It looks really cool. And somebody I know like is being sponsored by his company or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And she was like, I really want to do it. And I was like, that sounds awesome. Like we should do it together. So I messaged you like on behalf of both of us. I remember.
Oh yeah, you sent an email. That's what it was. I DM'd you, and then you were like, "Send me an email to let me know why you would want to do this." Wow.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
You were so serious, and I was like, "Oh my god."
I'm still pretty serious. I mean, that's really weird, but.
Yeah. No, but I only knew you because when you do the stuff for Alba Fitness, you're like a different person. I feel like than like normal Jason.
Yeah,
you're,
like
super
business people can't know the real me.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so at first I thought you were like this super serious person. You're like, tell me why I should even work with you. And then you sent me. I remember you sent me an email with like things I should and shouldn't do, like make a fitness account, don't do. I don't know, like it was like all this stuff, and I was like, all right, I'll follow it. And then I like met you in person.
Complete 180.
You were not what I thought you were, but that's how we met. I don't remember the first time that we like talked in person though.
I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It was definitely at school.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's funny. We go way back.
I know.
When I just started the company.
Yeah. I think it was when we took pictures at Warblin. Was that the first time?
No, we definitely talked to each other before then. That was like, was that my senior year?
Sure. I don't remember. It was like, I think it was over this like some sort of break during school.
Yeah, so I was still in school.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever. We've known each other for a little bit of time. I want to get into how did you like get into fitness? Like how did it become part of your life? You know, what does it mean to you now?
Yeah. So I was always a really athletic person. I played soccer my entire life. I played a bunch of different sports, but soccer is the one that stuck with me. And yeah, so after soccer was over, like my senior year, like my last season, I wasn't playing club anymore, which took up usually the rest of the year. So I needed to find something else to stay in shape.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to like gain the freshman 15 and like, yeah, which happened anyway. But
it happens to everyone.
Yeah.
It's almost inevitable.
Yeah, it really is, especially like if you have a social life. But yeah, so I started getting into lifting. I started learning a lot about it, and I fell in love with it. Because before, anytime I went to the gym, I would just run, and I wasn't seeing any progress. So yeah, I started going to the gym when I was a senior in high school, and the more I learned about it, the more I liked it, and it stuck with me throughout college. So it's something that transformed my life because it's something that I can do that's benefiting me physically that doesn't involve being part of a team, because
Right.
soccer was always something I always wanted to play soccer, but like practices and games were certain days, but you can lift whenever you want, you
Right.
know. So like filled that void for me.
Cool.
That's how I started getting into it.
And I see like on social media and stuff too, like you're always making posts trying to like help other people. And one thing I admire about you that I see in like a lot of other people I admire is that you're not afraid to be yourself.
Yeah.
And I see like your true authentic self. in all
Yeah,
your
I'm super
posts.
weird sometimes.
That's completely fine, but you know, I think that's what I really saw in you when you became an Alpha Fitness athlete. Like you're true to yourself. You're not afraid to be who you are. And like one thing too that I think is, I wouldn't say it's very rare, but there's only like maybe you know, there's more than a handful of people that do it, but like there's people that put out content that's fitness related, like a picture, like okay, you look good, like you're promoting new clothes or whatever. But then there's people that actually put out purposeful content that you know, that you want to like genuinely help other people and help your followers learn something, or like maybe you went through something and you share their experience with them, and they're learning and they're constantly getting value from that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I admire from
Thank
your
you.
content.
I appreciate that a lot.
Problem. But like, what is I know that fitness is like a big thing with you, obviously. So like, what's kind of like your end goal? I wouldn't say
In
end
terms
goal,
of-
but like, what do you want to accomplish with your fitness journey? I guess we can call it.
That's something that's changed a lot within the last like 3 months. So at
That's
first,
pretty like soon.
yeah, it's pretty recent.
Yeah.
Like probably during my spring semester, I don't know how long ago that was, like 4 months ago when
Yeah.
it ended. I was finishing up, I just took on some clients and I was training them remotely for free because I wanted to get some client testimonials to promote for future clients that I was going
Right.
to take
So you're doing
on.
like the whole online business thing. Like
Yeah,
online
that's what I
coaching.
had started. That was during my spring semester. I took on, it was like only four people that were like close to me that I really wanted to help. And a lot of them had really great transformations, had really great experiences from what they told me. And then I was going to take that and build an online business and coach people for money this time. But then some like recent changes in my life, I went through a lot within like the last few months, and I've been debating if I want to keep going down that road. So I just finished up my summer internship at Lockheed Martin as a mechanical engineer, and it's my second internship there. So I really had to decide if I was going to focus on the fitness part of my life or the engineering part of my life,
Right.
and what I was going to turn into a career. So I recently got an offer for a rotation program there that's 3 years long, and I would be working like 60 hours a week. So I don't
Jesus.
see myself being able to keep up with clients if I do that after I graduate. So it's been something I've been debating, like do I just take on clients for the meantime and then see if I can handle it when I'm working full time?
Yeah.
Or do I just kind of like put that aside for now and focus on like my engineering career?
Well, what are you like leaning towards?
Probably focusing on my engineering career. I think that the reason why I got into fitness and the passion for it has kind of like dwindled a little bit.
Yeah.
It's not really as much of a focus on my social media or like my life anymore. It's
Right.
something that I just do to stay in shape, and I haven't really been as hasn't been really a center of my life like it used to be. So
I think, you know, maybe me and you have gone down like a similar path. Like I know going into college for me, like I was all centered about fitness.
Yeah.
My whole life like revolved around the gym. And one thing I loved about that is that like it made me more disciplined.
Yeah.
It helped me almost, I wouldn't say shape me into the person I am today, but it definitely played a key role in that. Just giving me like more confidence and like being able to just go out there, do something and accomplish it, right? And I think that's a mindset you create when you keep, you know, constantly sticking to a lifting routine, like posting everything on social and stuff like that. But then you get to a certain point where, like you said, it does dwindle down. I find myself like that too. Like I just do it to stay in shape and like improve myself as an athlete
yeah.
as well. You know, but it's not something that consumes my life. And I see where you're coming from with that. But yeah, I think that's just like a part of growing up.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people that still like really fuck with fitness on like a super hard level, but for me and you, like I think it was just a point in our lives that really just kind of helped us shape us into
Yeah.
who we are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
Yeah. It's something that I guess throughout life in general you go through phases. And that's something that throughout college, I think a lot of people get really into fitness because
sure.
there's such like a big community at colleges of people who go to the gym and eat right, and it's really easy to get into that when you're in college, but then once you become a real adult and you have to really consider your career, like it's not something that people sometimes like always stick with.
Yeah, it's
So,
tough. I mean,
yeah.
at the end of the day, if it's not something like you're truly passionate about, you're gonna stick to whatever your priority is, like as you move forward and as you get older,
Yeah, exactly.
which is fine.
Yeah.
No disrespect to people that are like, deep in the fitness culture or whatever.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
But yeah, but like talking about transformations and stuff like that, I wanted to talk to you about kind of like how you grew as a person in college.
Yeah.
I think like even though like we weren't always like the closest of friends, like I feel like me and you were like, on that same level where we kind of like transformed into better people almost. And now like you're finishing up your last semester. I've been out for 2 years, and I feel like I personally like done a complete 180 of the person I am today compared to who I was like senior year,
Yeah.
before that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I want to hear first how like you changed, if you're saying
Oh,
that,
man. All right, so in my last podcast, I kind of talked about how like I was like I wasn't like outgoing at all. I was outgoing, but I was like a weird mix of like an introverted yet outgoing person. Like I was outgoing when it came down to it, and like I needed to be outgoing at like a party or something. But like my first couple of years at college, partied a lot, and I noticed myself becoming
Same.
more. Yeah, I think that's the case for everyone.
Yeah.
But I was like super introverted, and I had like a lot of social anxiety going into situations. Then I got into like my first serious relationship, and it was super weird for me at the time because like I'm in this new environment, I'm at school, I have so much freedom. And then I never really had a girlfriend before that or had like the desire to do it. And
Yeah.
then, I started dating this girl, got super serious. We even like pretty much lived together my junior year, which
Oh,
was
really?
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was.
Different time.
Yeah, it was a different time. It wasn't ideal or probably something I should have went into, but I had that experience under my belt. No disrespect to this girl at all, but like who I am now compared to myself in that relationship, I hate who I was in that relationship. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say she like brought me down. I would never say that about her or about anyone in general, but I felt like I was almost preventing myself from being more outgoing, and like I have like so many amazing experiences in my life, and I meet so many incredible people, and I just had a lack of that my first couple of years in college.
Yeah.
And I really didn't like who I was. I wasn't ambitious. I didn't start Alba with my brother until junior year, which was like kind of when we stopped seeing each other. But I don't know, I just felt like there wasn't really a purpose in my life, and that really showed on the exterior. Then we broke up my senior year, so I was single my senior year. And then I got into this phase where like I thought I had to be like so cool, and I was always just so focused on like going out every weekend or Tuesday and like hanging out with my friends all the time. I was still pretty driven, but I still didn't feel like I had a purpose yet. And all I really cared about was partying, like what girls were gonna be at what party, like one experience happens, like what's next. And I graduated, and then I really took kind of like a deep look into myself to see who I really was. And then I started drifting away from my friends a little bit. A lot of my friends in school were like in finance, and they all had like great jobs, like great out of school, and they were put in positions to like move out into the city and shit, and like I was like pretty much the only one still at home. I wasn't always the best student. I graduated, I think I had Dean's List like my last year, which was fine and stuff, but I started my first desk job, I think maybe July when I graduated. I walked in, I was supposed to be onboarded that day, and I was just like, I can't do this, like there's no fucking way I could do this. I just walked out.
Really?
Like I literally had, yeah. I said that in my
didn't
last
know
podcast.
that.
Yeah. I had like a nervous breakdown. Like I was just like, as I walked into that building, like I'm a very big like vibe person, and like I feel like I could just sense like when I'm in a bad situation or like I'm
Yeah.
around the right people and stuff like that. And I was just like, if I do this, like I'm gonna be miserable, and I'm not gonna gain any knowledge or valuable experience here. This is just for money.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate enough where I come from a family that can provide for me. I don't want to be a fucking adult baby, but I'm saying like as a recent graduate, like 2 months out of school, like I'm okay. Like I don't need a job right now. So I walked out. I called my dad. I was like, Dad, I don't want to do this. Like, I can't do this. And he was like, kind of upset at first, but then they were okay with it.
Yeah.
I ended up taking a job at an IT firm for about 8 or 9 months, and I was a marketing manager there, which was a good experience. But, you know, again, it was mostly like a desk job. It was cool because I got to work at home a lot, but I got really bored.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, you want to like go out and meet people. That's when I was like, you know what, I still have this passion for fitness. Why don't I just become a trainer? Like, I help so many other people anyway. So I did it. I ended up becoming a trainer at Orange Theory, which I still work there part-time now because it just worked out. I love it. You know, even though it's group training and I can't really make as many meaningful corrections or interactions as a one-on-one session, I still feel like I impact people in like a really good way. I feel like I can bring out like the best in people. Like, it's just a good time when the people come in, even though it's not as educational or maybe insightful as I want it to be. But I feel like it's transformed me into a person where like I can fucking rock like any social setting. Like, I feel like I'm going into like a fucking play or a concert almost, and I just have to like perform for like all these like
That's
moms.
amazing.
But
all these moms.
The moms love me. Huge mama's boy. But like going from that to this, and like that's not even like my end goal now. Like, I'm starting to take things more seriously with Alva. I just started a digital agency with my brother.
Yeah.
So I have 2 companies under my belt, and like, you know, that's really where I feel like I'm really focusing on moving towards too. But in the meantime, this is cool. Like, I still love having this experience because I feel like I'm developing myself.
Yeah.
And yeah, like between now and back then, like I really do feel like I have a purpose. I may not know exactly what that purpose is yet, but I know I want to help people. I know I'm in a point where like I'm blessed to have people like watch my podcast, even if it's like 100 people.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like if they're listening to me and I can share my experiences and like it helped me and, like, and I can help other people, you know, that means the world to me at the end of the day. I don't really care about making money. Like, money's just like it's just a plus at the end of the day. Like, if I can monetize what I love to do, awesome. I'm like, you know, I want to be able to provide for my family one day. That's important to me. But at the end of the day, like my core value is just being able to help people.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Thanks.
So I feel like I got like I didn't know a lot of that about you. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah, I went through like a lot of shit. Like, I really had to like pull my head out of my ass in a way, being a head ass.
Yeah. Big head ass.
Big head ass. I mean, really, like, if I look back in my life now, like, I just had such a shallow perception of life.
Yeah.
I wasn't really like empathetic with my friends. Like, I feel now that I can create like more deeper relationships and friendships.
Yeah.
I feel like I have like, you know, a better relationship with my family. I have deeper friendships with just like anyone I connect to. Like, I really listen and I try to be there in the moment.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm trying to like work on and practice. And
Yeah.
I can definitely see it. Like, I'm a lot happier. I feel like I do have a purpose, and like I feel, you know, I'm finally on the right path to like where my life's supposed to be headed.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Thanks.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think that the relationships in your life are so important, and sometimes when we're so focused on school.
I just want to double check that it's recording.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fucking freaked out.
Wait, we have 3 minutes left, so you have to check.
Ow, my ankle. All right, we're good. There's 11 minutes left, and I think it's going to start a new thing. But tell me when it's in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah. I feel
Nice
like,
wallpaper.
Thank you. I feel like when we're so focused on school for so many years of our life, especially when you get into college, it's easy to lose sight of like the important things because you're just focused on getting the good grades and then figuring out what career you want to take on.
Right.
And then especially like once you are done with school, you kind of like, because I'm basically almost done, and you just like realize I'm like, I haven't really spent that much time with my brother in like a long time. I really haven't spent that much quality time with my parents in a long time.
One thing I hate about college is like the whole like dialogue of like being in school. Like, there's so much pressure to get good grades, like you said, and then finding out what your career is, and then like you get to graduation and you're like, holy fuck, like what did I even do?
Yeah.
Like, I sat in class, I learned some things, but you know, a lot of people go into careers where like they didn't even have to get their degree, or like it wasn't like what they were specialized in.
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like I don't like it. There's just too much pressure into you know, becoming your own person after college when you should have been like kind of like almost finding yourself in college at the same time.
Yeah.
And like you said, you miss out on a lot because you're just so focused on academics. You're so focused on like partying and you know, just hanging out with your friends, which is completely fine. But like that's really at the core of what school is, or I mean, maybe not just Rutgers. Like that's what everyone focuses on, and you just block everything else out.
Yeah, it's true.
It's sad.
Yeah.
I hate it.
I know.
I hate it. I feel like for me, like I just learned so much these past years of my life being outside of school.
Yeah.
Like I learned a lot during school, and like I obviously learned how to like be responsible and manage my time, yada yada yada. But like I really taken a deeper look into myself and being kind of like isolated for these 2 years because I've been at home, I haven't moved out yet.
Yeah.
Shout out to my mom for letting me stay. But but yeah, I feel like I've just had so many more meaningful experiences.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, college is such a bubble, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a bubble. And once you get out of that bubble, you realize a lot of different things about the world that you really didn't see until then. But I guess in terms of like, you had asked me about my transformation throughout the years, and there's so many different directions I can take with it, but I guess throughout the first couple years at school, I was really focused on partying, really focused on working hard and then playing hard. So I'd study for a ridiculous amount of hours, and then I'd go out and drink.
I think that's the balance. That's like the normal balance in college.
Yeah, exactly. The balance is there is no
balance.
You know what I mean? You go to from one extreme to the next. So you know, it was the first time not living at home like most people, and I was the type of person that like I had needed to get A's in all my classes, so I was always like studying ridiculously hard and then like going out and drinking, and that was like it was fine because like I made some of the best friends I ever did when I was a freshman. You know, like me and my roommate got super close. I had some people, I lived in the honors college, a group of us got super close, but I think I was really lost because I was studying exercise science for a year and a half, and I didn't know why I was studying it, you know, like I was just like, oh, like I like working out, you know, maybe I can like work in like a hospital as like a physical or occupational therapist, like with outpatient or inpatient people, and I really didn't think too much into it. And after a year and a half, so I was in a relationship for 5 years, and
you know the struggle.
Yeah. It's something that like it's defined like a lot of who I am because it's a really long relationship and it was a very serious relationship. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because we had split for a couple months, and it was during that time where I was like, why the hell am I studying exercise science? And it was that time when I was alone where I really was like, okay, you know, maybe I need to look at what I'm actually passionate about and what I actually want to study and what I'm actually good at. So I, on a whim, just changed my major to engineering. I didn't know what type of engineering. I didn't know why I was doing it. I just knew that something spoke to me. I loved physics. I loved calculus. Like,
cool. It's a sign, baby.
Yeah. I didn't even, like, it felt right, you know?
Yeah.
And I just, like, switched my major on a whim.
So this was, like, a pivot. I'm not even dyslexic. I'm failing to just say it.
Pivotal.
You can't even say it. Pivotal.
Yeah.
This was pivotal.
How do you even spell
Pivotal. Fun fact, I won the spelling bee in 2nd grade, and I had to spell pterodactyl, Pterodactyl, pterodactyl. Eat your heart out. Continue.
Amazing. Yeah, so pivotal. You knew how to spell it, but not say it.
I just had a blank.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. Pivotal.
Yeah, it was a pivotal moment because for the first time, I felt like I was taking control of my life. Because a lot of my life, I was in the backseat. Like, I was just doing what my parents thought I should be doing. My identity was through my boyfriend, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel
everything.
the same way, minus the boyfriend.
Girlfriend?
Yeah, I mean, like, we were both just backseat. Like, we just, I don't know, like, there's, like, being aware of your life and making conscious decisions, and then there's just, like, me and my girlfriend just, like, fucking going to class, coming home, watching, like, 5 hours of, like, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, no, seriously, that's true. People just kind of just are, I don't know, you just go through life, like, half awake.
Yeah, I can't go back to doing that.
Yeah.
If I date someone, I'm not gonna, like, we both have to be like, yeah, we're gonna tackle life.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true. Yeah, like relationships are such a big part because eventually you end up being with somebody and that's the person that is going to be your partner for life.
Yeah,
like you're going to
they're
go
so
through everything
serious.
with. So yeah, we had split up for a couple months, and I really took that time to like look at my life, and I changed my major. We got back together, and for the rest of college, I studied engineering. It was something that challenged me, which I really enjoyed because I felt like with exercise science, I didn't know why I was sitting there in class, and I'm somebody who really likes to be challenged, and a lot of those classes were just memorization, and I felt like I wasn't challenging my critical thinking.
Yeah.
But with engineering, I got to learn like how to solve problems.
That's what I love about what I do too. Like I
Yeah.
have to be so dynamic, but continue.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really cool thing to because I felt like in those classes, I was always being like surprised, and like I always like had to use my brain in different ways. Whereas like with bio or whatever I was studying before,
Yeah, you're
like
just memorizing.
yeah, it's just like you're retaining bullshit. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'm never gonna have to know that like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. Like
It's good to know though.
but yeah, with studying calculus and physics, like you really understand like how the world works.
Mom,
Wait, I think we need to run.
why?
Cause is it on like lights?
What?
Isn't it?
Yo, what are you doing?
I thought it turned on before because we walked.
Why would you have to run like that for the lights to turn on? I'm so confused. All right, turn this off for now.
Wait, no, but seriously, when we walked in before they turned on.
And we're back after that pee-pee break / lights out or whatever just happened.
Me running around like a lunatic.
That was crazy. I can't wait to put that on Instagram. What were we talking about?
My life, I think.
This
Yeah.
is what, yeah, I think that's what this podcast is about, right?
I think so. Yeah, I was talking about, I loved studying calc and physics because I was understanding like numbers and like how the world works. It's made me like think about the world differently, yada yada yada. Yeah, so that change in my life definitely made me feel like I was finally like on some sort of track, so in some sort of control, like I made a decision for myself finally. But the last couple years of school, I struggled with a lot of anxiety. So this was,
I almost feel like that's a normal thing, which is like sad to say. Like
It
there's
is.
so much pressure, like your final year of school and like looking for a job
yeah,
and just like the whole culture of like senior year is awful.
Yeah.
Continue though.
I think that wasn't the issue for me. I think that's the issue for a lot of people. But I think, you know, I guess that was part of it, like not knowing what direction I wanted to go in with my life.
Right.
I also, like, being in that relationship that I was in for so long, like, I felt like we were, like, going through, like, growing apart from each other. You know, when you're with somebody from when you're 16 years old, you kind of become a different person when
Oh
you're
wow,
22.
I didn't know that it was that long.
Yeah.
Well, I just did the math in my head and that makes sense.
Yeah. So, like, when you're a kid, it's different. You grow up, you grow apart, like, it was, like, a great relationship, but I was just, like, becoming a different person, and so was he. So, the last, like, probably the last year or two, like, it was just, like, slowly eating away at me because I could feel us, like, becoming different people.
Yeah.
And so that was something that, like, really bogged me down at some points, and it's, like, nothing he did, and nothing I did. It was
Right.
just, like, the nature of the situation. And, yeah, not knowing what direction I wanted to go in my life, like, I was just bogged down all the time. And, yeah, so I interned at the company that I'm at now for the summer, and last summer I hated it.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah, because I was put on a team where I wasn't using like math or any sort of like science. It was
Yeah.
like logic, like messaging between different parts of the system.
Okay.
And a lot of like reading data. So I kind of felt like a monkey could do what I was doing.
Yeah.
And that really made me be like,
Yeah,
I worked
it's
so
deep.
hard at school to do this,
Yeah.
you know? And it wasn't a mechanical engineering job like my major, it was systems engineering. So there was obviously going to be a difference, but it was like way too off from what I was into. And I really debated, like, I've debated not going back and just like becoming a teacher, because that's something I always wanted to do. A lot of
I
people
can see
don't
you
know
being a
that.
teacher.
Yeah, it's something that I always wanted to do since I was a kid.
Yeah.
But it's also something that, like, I don't know, like, teachers are really underpaid. Like, there's a lot of, like, politics in schools.
Yeah.
Like, you have to stick to a curriculum. So I don't know if it's something that I really want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But last summer, like, hating my internship, I was like, you know, maybe I should really consider being a teacher. But my parents, like, I had a lot of conversations with them, and they were like, you know what, like, I think you should give it another shot. So I expressed to my manager that I was not happy on the team I was on, and he wanted to do anything he can to keep me and
Right.
a lot of the other interns, because we were all pretty good workers. So this last summer, I worked on a different team, and I liked it a lot more. I felt like I used a lot more of my brain than I did the previous
Yeah.
summer.
You did the stuff you fuck with.
Yeah, it was a lot better. So, yeah, and within the last like few months, I guess like last semester, like I got out of that relationship that I was in for 5 years, and
How
you
you
know,
felt?
it was really hard at first.
Yeah.
But I think for a long time, like we were growing apart from each other. So like after a little bit of time, like I realized like it's a time for me to like figure out who I am, like figure out what I want to do. And when you're also like in a relationship like that, you guys like aren't really maybe always on the same page, like it kind of holds you back, like you were saying. Like we just got comfortable with each other. Like I wasn't really like seeking big things in my life. Like I was kind of like already taking the back seat again, you know, like when we were apart, I switched my major, I did like this big move, and then the rest of the time wasn't making big moves,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So
I know exactly where you're coming from. Like I was in the same situation.
yeah, I think it happens to a lot of people. When you're not, I don't know, you get comfortable in a relationship maybe, like maybe it's not the right one, I don't know.
I feel like everything does happen for a reason. Like even though
Yeah.
you guys grew apart, like it helped shape who you are now, regardless of the outcome.
Oh yeah, absolutely, like,
That's how I feel about my past relationship.
yeah, it's always gonna like leave an imprint on you, you know, it's a part of who you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this summer I had to do a lot of like you said, like really like looking internally at who I am.
Yeah. You told me like you changed kind of like who you are as a person like these past couple of months. So like what
Yeah.
is it, like a mindset change or like the
yeah.
way you view life?
So I started doing future self journaling. I don't know if you know what that is. It's
Which
like
is writing about like stuff you want to do in the like who you think you're going to be in the future, like things you
yeah,
should do.
but
stuff
it's
like
more
that.
like like you wake up every morning and you like write down like the way you want to be. Like I want to be at peace. I want to be happy. I want to be like I want to stop doing like this small thing that I do every day that bogs me down. It's a structured thing. Yeah, it's super helpful. I follow the holistic psychologist, and she's like this super. I guess she's like a modern psychologist where she knows like she talks a lot about how like mental illness is not what we think it is. Like it's more like everybody has gone through trauma in their life, everybody has gone through experiences,
Right,
and that's why we
we
feel
are, yeah.
the anxiety and the depression, but it doesn't define us. You don't have a mental illness per se.
It's just kind of how you react to situations because you're conditioned almost, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that's really, like, I always labeled myself as, like, having anxiety, but once I started thinking, like, I'm not my thoughts, I'm not in control of how other people view me, I'm not in control of if I'm misunderstood, that's okay. Like, a lot of the way that she, like, explains, like, mental thought processes has really helped me, like, move on past those anxious feelings.
Right.
So, like, doing the journaling, doing like meditation, and like really like taking in like the things that she said has really changed the way I view the world and the way I view myself.
I love that you're bringing this up because I'm actually kind of doing a similar thing.
Oh, really?
So I read the book 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra.
Okay.
I watch, do you know who Mike Stud is? Like a rapper, ex-baseball player?
No.
So I watch his podcast a lot, and like the things he's been saying like, have been really like resonating with me. So he said like he always like mentions in every episode to read this book. So I was like, fuck it. By the 3rd episode, I was like, I'm just gonna buy it on Amazon and read it.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much on point with what you're saying too. Like, you aren't your thoughts. You know, like it's okay if you're misunderstood. Like people have feelings about you. You have certain feelings about other things, but at the end of the day, that's not who you are, right? And I think your ego plays a big part in that.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like up until this year, really, I've been living because of my ego. Like I've been doing things because, you know, I feel like I should have this, or like I should feel this way, or like I should be in this certain situation, when really at the end of the day, that's not who we are. Like human beings have like, I think like 50,000 thoughts a day.
Yeah.
And like they can't all be like, you know, super positive or like super self-empowering. Like you're gonna have really negative thoughts a lot of the time.
Of course, yeah.
There's always more negative than good, I feel like. But at the end of the day, like thoughts are just thoughts, right? And you can just kind of like be almost
Like
like
an observer?
an observer of all these thoughts, and you can decide what you truly believe if it really resonates with who you are as a person. But yeah, I really recommend that book for anyone watching. It's really changed the way I view the world, kind of like on point with what you're saying.
Yeah.
I journal too. I write things I'm grateful for, and it's really helped me a lot, and it's kept me on track with like kind of my purpose and like how I'm moving as a person.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to look back and see how far I've came from, like even last year to who I am now. So.
Yeah, it's always nice to see that transformation because when it's on paper, it's way easier to see.
Yeah, and I really love like how I feel like on social media too, people are starting to speak up about mental health a lot. Like I feel like that's a trending thing.
Yeah.
But like I feel like we should, like you were saying, we should kind of rewire the way we're looking at it.
Yeah.
And take a deep look inside and see what's really causing what we think is mental illness.
Yeah.
And I love how like spirituality and like all these things are like becoming trending topics almost.
Yeah.
And I feel like people are starting to get very in touch with who they are as people.
Yeah.
I know like in the past couple of years maybe that was religion. Now it's like kind of transforming people, phrasing it as like, oh, the universe,
Yeah.
works itself out for like me in this way, blah 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 blah. But
Yeah, exactly.
I think at the end of the day, human beings just want to really believe in something and believe that there's a higher power, which I do believe. Like we're all put on here to do something, and I believe in like signs and like coincidences. I don't know why I'm just having the toughest time just pronouncing words today. Coincidences, pickle.
Pickle.
Are you saying pitbull?
Pickle Rick, what?
What? Anyways. But yeah, I truly believe that like everyone's here for like a certain reason, and the way I've been looking at life lately is like everything really serves you, like the negative, the positive. It's all going to shape you to your end destination or your journey.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, I think like everything's going to happen for a reason, whether you want it to or not.
Yeah.
And, like the shit we go through, it's all serving us at the end of the day. What I learned the past couple of months, people that follow me on social media saw the going through shit phase, which is hilarious.
I was actually going to bring that up.
Don't really want to talk about it too much. But like you can't be a resistance. You can't fight against resistance in the moment, right?
Yeah.
So like I notice myself like the best things in life will come to you spontaneously. Nailed that word. Proud of myself.
That was a big one.
Fuck, now there's pressure to keep pronouncing every word properly. But like the best things in life are gonna come to you spontaneously, and even if you are going through shit, the best thing you can do is like just realize that it's serving you. Don't resist the moment. Embrace it.
Yeah.
And eventually
So
it'll subside, and like things that are meant to come to you will come to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like goes along the lines of like, I think going back to like journaling and that put together, like whenever I'm feeling like those hard times, like I just take out a journal and I just write, I feel this way and why do I think I feel this way?
It helps you internalize it.
Yeah, and when I see it on paper, I'm like, okay, like this is a real thing now. And then I'm like, what can I do now to make myself feel better if that wasn't enough? You know what I mean? Like maybe it's like if I'm in bed, like maybe get the fuck out of bed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe go on a walk or whatever it may be. But like when I'm feeling like I'm going through shit, I'm like, I feel anxious because
I'm going through shit because.
Yeah, I'm going through shit because. Yeah. So I think like it's really cool, like you said, that it's becoming so trending, like to think about like mental health. And I think like the reason why I sparked it is because of like the effect that social media has on all of our mental health.
Yeah.
And now it's like people are turning it into sharing like how we can improve that.
Yeah. Big issue is just like you said, social media, but everyone's just like addicted to their phones. And like I noticed that in school, like it would be hard for me to hold a conversation without pulling out my phone every 3 seconds. I don't even know why I'm pulling out my phone. It's just like a thing to do.
Yeah.
So like I've been like consciously trying to like put the phone down as much as
Yeah.
I can, unless I really need it for like business or whatever. But like even right now, we're sharing a very present conversation, which I really appreciate. Thank you for being here, by the way.
Oh yeah. No, thanks for having me.
Of course. But yeah, like the phone, like it just takes away from like actual human interaction. And I hate it.
Yeah, that's why like if I ever have to talk to somebody, I end up FaceTiming them because
I do
I'm
that
like
every night.
Yeah, because I'm like I don't want to be texting, even though FaceTime does take away some of like the humanness of talking to somebody. It's definitely better than texting.
Right, you can almost like feel the presence. Like when you FaceTime me last night, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's so much better. But yeah, I think like you were going off of like a book that really helped you. Like I recently read You Are a Badass. I don't know if you
I've heard
ever read
of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's by Jen Sincero or something along those lines. But she talks a lot about like the universe and like it's like the big she has all these different phrases to like say like the spirit or the universe or
Right.
whatever is like keeping
Whatever you
everything
believe in,
together.
there's something up there.
So like personally, like I debate if I believe in God or like if I believe like in that, but I do believe like that we're all connected somehow.
Right, for sure.
Somehow, like me thinking that has helped me like believe in myself and believe in like a greater good. So like even though maybe I don't believe in like a God, but like I believe like in some sort of like, you know, people say like good vibes, higher frequency, like all that stuff.
I believe in that so much. Like I fuck with that so hard. Like I noticed like I mean I meet a lot of different people in like my scope of work, so I always like try to read people's vibes. Like even the other day, like some kid had a interview for one of my jobs, and like I was just like reading him the entire time. And the second he like said something to me, I was just like, this kid's not gonna get hired. Like we need a people person, and this kid's just like weird vibes. I could sense like he was trying to prove something, like he wasn't in a good mental spot. Sucks for that kid. But, like, you know, like you could just read people.
He'll probably change over time, but like maybe that's not that, like it didn't
it's not the right
match
time.
with you. Yeah, exactly.
Timing was off.
Yeah.
Timing was off. He's probably a good kid at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
But like vibes, energy, like people's energy, like it's so, for me, it's just so easy to read. Like I feel like we're on the same vibe right now.
Yeah.
I feel very at peace, so I know you're a good person.
Yeah. You too.
Thanks.
Yeah, so I don't even know where I ended off on my life story. We just
Where are we?
Yeah, I don't know.
Want to see us continue?
Where are we at?
I don't know. 13 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, we can go longer. I'm just saying what's when the next. I don't know if it's gonna stop filming. I really have to learn how to use all my equipment.
One day.
One of these days, I'll
It's
actually
not like
sit
last
down.
year you like just got that. It's not like it's been a year since you got that camera.
Has it been a year?
No, probably like fall semester.
My fall semester?
Your
fall semester.
My last fall semester.
Oh yeah, because we did that sheet at Crunch.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I just got this new camera.
Yeah, still don't know. Still don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like so this last summer, like I just really had to like take a look at who I am.
Yeah, it's been a pivotal time in your life.
Pivotable. Real pivotal.
I think we just made a word.
Yeah, I think it's useful.
I'm gonna use that.
It's able to be pivoted. Able. All right. Anyway.
It's smart.
Seriously. Yeah. So I think the last summer, like I got closer with my cousin that like worked with me and like lived in the area. I hung out with her a lot. Like I got closer with some of my friends that like I wasn't making time for, even if it meant like calling them more often or texting them more often or like FaceTiming them more often or just
it
like
really makes a huge difference.
Yeah, staying in touch somehow.
Staying in touch and just being in the moment with the person you're talking to and understanding their life. Like,
yeah, it's so true because you just miss so much, like especially when you're caught up in a relationship for so long.
Right.
It like.
No disrespect to relationships though. We're just,
oh yeah, no.
We just had to work out our own shit.
Yeah, exactly. So it took like a few months of me figuring all that shit out, but it's amazing because recently like so many people like that I have been like catching up with have been saying like I like radiate and I like so much like lighter and like happier, and it's so nice to hear that because you know I felt so bogged down in the past, but I wasn't really really noticing the effect that it had on me. I just thought that's how I was. I labeled it as like who I am. Like, you know, maybe I'm just a stressed person. Maybe I'm just like an anxious person. But through recent months, like the reactions that people have said, like after seeing me, like since everything has happened to me, has just been like really made me realize like the effect that the things were going on in my life were having on me. Yeah, so, you know, relationships are great. I'm in a new one now, and it's
how's that going?
Oh, so much amazing. It's going really great.
Happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice because I feel like I've figured out like who I am as an independent person, you know, and like even though like I don't have all of my shit together and like you're never gonna be perfectly perfect, like I know that like what I need to work on and where like a certain direction I want to go in, and like having somebody that's also like in that space is like great.
Is he an engineer too?
Yeah, electrical.
I think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah.
Handsome kid.
Yeah, he is. Thanks. We used to work at Hansel and Gretel together.
I love me a good Hansel romance story. My heart just melted. Yeah. I actually used to live across the street from Hansel, and I would get a banana flip smoothie every day.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
addicting.
So many calories. You should see how much peanut butter they used to. Did you know they took an ice cream scooper of peanut butter? So it's not like just a tablespoon, like it's an ice cream scooper.
Oh yeah.
Like a mound of peanut butter.
That's why it tasted so good.
Yeah.
I did.
That's why it was so thick.
I did get a little thick. Never mind. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's
So,
great. So you're in a better relationship now. You're in a good place.
Yeah.
I feel like there's so many like connections between us right now. Like I'm not in a relationship, but I feel better, and I feel like I'm. Oh God, do I really want to get into this? Am I going on the record or off the record with this? I'll decide if I'm gonna edit it in later.
Okay.
But I was seeing someone last summer, incredible person.
Yeah. I remember.
I might as well just talk about it. I'm not gonna like air out all of our shit, but
Yeah.
there's just like weird timing between us.
Mhm.
She's still in school and graduated, but I feel like that's really like my person. And
Aw.
I don't know. I hope she feels the same way. Maybe she does. Maybe she doesn't. She's just
I'm gonna cry.
she's we're
Yeah.
just in like weird pivotal.
Pivotal.
Please God, just let me pronounce it right.
Spontaneous.
Spontaneously pivotal times in our lives.
Pterodactyl?
I could say pterodactyl
I
all
said
day.
pterodactyl.
Pterodactyl? No one else knew that there was a P in there except me.
Yeah, I really didn't know that. So I
It's
spelled it.
'cause
I
I
was
was
like P, but I didn't question
Super
you.
into dinosaurs at the time. So.
Oh, so you really knew that.
Yeah, I had like dinosaur books. That's the only reason why I knew how to spell that word. Anyways, awesome girl. Like, I like her. Just like energy is like incredible. And like all my friends think I'm like the most outgoing person.
Mhm.
And I'm just like full of life and energy. Like when I go out.
Yeah.
And that's just who I am because I'm a very people-oriented person.
Yeah, I feel
Very-
like even when we shoot, we're just like so like high
Bounce,
energy,
yeah.
like goons. Like people look at us at the gym, like what the and we're just like doing weird shit, like
Yeah,
high energy.
exactly.
I feel like we're the same in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I feel like the right people bring that out too, almost.
Yeah.
But that's just who I am at the end of the day. But like, this girl, like, she's like 10 times what I am. Like, she has so much energy. She's just so positive and optimistic.
Yeah.
You know, the timing of our lives are a little bit different, so that's why. I mean, I don't want to say that's why we're not together. I don't know if we are going to be. I don't know. I'm not going to get too into it.
Yeah.
But I'm very hopeful. And I love like being around her, and like I feel like she's helped me grow as a person too, whether she realizes it or not.
That's
like,
important.
She like helped me connect deeper with other people. She like told me, you know, like you forget like the first thing someone says to you when you first meet them. Like, how are you? You're supposed to be like an outgoing person. You meet so many people, you know. And she like corrected me with that, and I just feel like so good around her.
Yeah. That's amazing.
I don't get that same feeling around everyone. So
Yeah.
I feel like she's like a key person in my life. Maybe not now since, you know, we are kind of like two different paths, but I'm sure we'll reconnect at some point.
Yeah, I'm sure if you feel that way, and if she feels that way too, like it's bound to happen. You know, like it's important to like not force it, but also like
Yeah, that's something I've struggled with so much.
Yeah.
And like trying to force situations or things to happen.
yeah,
So like I personally like I look up to a lot of athletes that it kind of seems like their dialogue of their journey into like whatever, you know, belt or championship they're trying to win.
Yeah.
They're trying to force it. They're trying to like, you know, really like impose their will.
Mhm.
That's something you see a lot in like a macho characteristic of like a male athlete. And I adopted that mentality, and it just has not worked out at all. And
Yeah.
I don't even think it's honestly worked out for the athletes in general.
Yeah.
Like, you have a story, and it's already written. I feel like you're just living it out, and the decisions you make, yeah, they're going to affect you short term, but long term, you're still going to get to the same destination.
yeah, exactly.
Right.
As
So-
long as you're going somewhere and not sitting
Yeah.
still.
So
right?
like my entire like life now, like I just want to make meaningful connections. I want to help as many people as possible.
Yeah.
I just want to spread love, like peace, love, positivity. Like that's my vibe.
Yeah, exactly.
And the right people will be put into your life for a reason.
Yeah.
And I feel I'm a big like, I guess you can call it omen or sign person too.
Yeah.
Like I really don't believe in coincidences.
Yeah.
Said that word right.
No, I'm proud of you.
But like I feel like I've been getting a lot of them lately,
Yeah.
and it's just it's helping me affirm to myself that I'm moving in the right direction and I'm making the right choices for myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. I feel the same way. I feel like recently I've just been having like a lot of great signs, like that's like showing me I'm going in the right direction, like in my career and personal life.
Yeah,
you know?
me too. So weird.
And you saying like about the different paths leading to the same place, like even in my new relationship now, like I worked with him at Hansel like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was only worked there for like 2 months. And we got along so well at work, but we were both in very serious relationships. Like he was with his girlfriend for 5 years too. And we both just saw each other like as friends at work, but we got along, like we had very similar interests, so we'd like chat at work sometimes. And then after that, like I hadn't seen him for the last like 2 years of my school, like I bumped into him a couple times, like at Bush, because we had engineering classes, but we weren't the same major, so never really had class with him, never really talked to him. Other than like the weird times where we would bump into each other, and I'd be like, oh hey. So like it's so weird like how like the universe works. Like he randomly, like nobody lives in my area that I'm in. Like I told you, I literally live in Bumblefuck.
Yeah, I had to like Google map you before. I was like, where is this?
Clinton, but yeah, it's literally middle of nowhere, and he ends.
All right, sorry to cut you off again. I just logistically didn't think about this setup, and I have to keep constantly checking to make sure that you guys are recording. And by you guys, I mean my phone and my camera. Continue.
And your mom watching.
Yeah, can't disappoint my mom. She's gonna be like, you should have thought about this.
You need to do better. Yeah, so like I said, like we had bumped into each other a few times at school. We were both in serious relationships, and then he ended up living 10 minutes away from me.
It's funny how life works out like that.
It's so
right?
weird. And he like moved in that area while he was in like the beginning of college or right before college. So like it's not like he was always there. When I grew up there, you know, and we ended up living near each other. Like on our first date, he was like, oh, like, do you want me to come pick you up? And I'm like, I don't know, like, how close do you live? And I sent him my address. He was like, literally 10 minutes. And I was like, that's weird, you know? And both being like engineers and like living, like I did not have a job throughout all of college except for the 2 months that I worked at Hansel. Like I had like tutoring things, but like an actual job.
Yeah, you never had like a real job. Like that.
Because I had a scholarship, so like I was lucky enough that I didn't really have to work. But yeah, so like for me to like just randomly have that job and meet him, and then he like ended up living near me, like all these weird little things just like came together.
It's not a C word.
Coincidence?
Yes. Yes. No, I feel like, yeah.
Pivotal.
God, don't bring it up. I'm getting PTSD. But yeah, I totally, you know, I feel like with what you're saying, like it's all serving you. It's all part of a purpose. And, like, it's not a C word at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It's you know, these things are put in your life, and then you're gonna get to the same end result, regardless of like maybe you like denied his first date or something like that. Like, I feel like I don't know. I feel like everything's meant to happen for a reason, as cliche as it sounds. But if this is the right guy, like he's gonna help propel you to like, you know, hopefully that next level in your life, or maybe even like just, I don't know. I don't want to get too far into it, but like he's gonna benefit you somehow. You guys are gonna benefit each other.
Yeah, same with
and that's
you.
how that's how relationships should be at the end of the day. It shouldn't be like, you know, at the end of the day you two are together, but you're still two separate people, and you still have two separate paths and like destinies to let that unfold.
Yeah, I feel like that's something that was really hard for me to realize, because when you get in a relationship when you're young, like that person,
you're very like possessive, right?
Yeah, it's like the center of your life. Like I was very codependent, and I remember vividly, like it was either fall or spring of like this past year, like that semester, I realized how codependent I was, and I started reading it, and I had a big anxiety attack, and I was like, oh my god, like I've been this way for 4 years, 5 years.
Because that's all you really know. Like when you get into your first serious relationship, it's everything.
Yeah.
And, like you do everything together. In college, it's just so easy to just literally spend every waking moment together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
even in high school.
Yeah.
You know? So.
I love that you found like your independence, and
Thank you.
you're in a relationship where you guys could like do your own thing, and just still at the end of the day, like that's your homie.
Yeah, that's what's really important, is like having like a relationship with somebody that's like functional and like empowering, and where you guys kind of like build each other up. But that's also like that you're independent, you know, because a lot of people don't develop themselves enough to become an independent unit of a relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's all about like healing your past and healing who you are, and like being able to function as like a unit, like a self before you do as a unit.
Yeah, so like you always have to focus on yourself before you focus on someone else. Like everything has to be go with you before you can even think about benefiting someone else's life.
Yeah, exactly. So like, I know a lot of people probably feel like, you know, I don't know how to be alone yet, so do I have to like wait to get in a relationship? But I think you can like actively heal that part of yourself and find somebody like at the same time and work on it each day.
Yeah, they should complement your life. You know, they shouldn't be the center of your life.
Yeah.
Obviously, they should be important, but
yeah,
you know, your entire focus and being shouldn't be on them.
I agree.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's shift gears and talk about something maybe less deep and intensive. Actually, I wanted to bring this up. So shout out to my friend Tina. She had like a story on her Instagram the other day, and I was like, what the fuck, this is wild. So she, it was a text from this guy. So apparently she was in a a supermarket and she was paying for something. And she gave her phone number to the cashier to like activate her rewards or whatever, you know, the reason was.
Yeah.
And apparently the guy behind her heard it. So he texted Tina, he got the number correct.
Oh my God.
Creepy, right? This is like, or first of all, that's some like crazy ability to be able to like memorize something on the spot like that and retain it and then put it into a phone. But two, he like texted her saying like, hey, I was a guy in the supermarket behind you the other day. Like I froze up when I saw you. You're so beautiful. I got your number because I heard you say it to the cashier as you were giving the phone number to like, you know, get your rewards or whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought it was like the creepiest fucking thing ever. Like,
Yeah.
Is this something, I mean, not this exact situation, but have you ever dealt with something super unsettling and uncomfortable because of a guy like that was attracted to you?
Yeah.
Is that like a frequent thing?
Yeah.
That's so scary. I don't know how I would do as a girl.
Yeah. I think.
I literally would have called the cops on this guy already. Like, there would have been a SWAT team at his house.
Yeah, it's.
If I were Tina. Sorry that happened to you, Tina, for watching.
See, like, to you, it's funny because, like, to you, you're, like, shook by this. But I'm like, oh.
It's normal?
Yeah.
What's wrong with guys? Like, it's, I don't want to say it's, like, easy to, like, get a girl to go on a date with you, but, like, you should, regardless of gender, you should always treat someone like a freaking human being. Like,
yeah.
Just talking to a person is gonna, like, normally, and, like, if you vibe and, like, you have, like, similar interests, that's all you have to do.
Yeah.
If she likes you, she likes you. If she doesn't, she doesn't. Like, that's all it is. You don't have to fucking become 007 and see, somehow get this girl's number.
Yeah.
But continue.
I think being a female in a society with social media is hard. How do I word this? Like, so like before phones, like that wouldn't have happened to her, right? But
yeah, but
since,
I feel like the before phone era, like something equally as creepy can happen. Like we're just guys are just finding new like channels and mediums to become creepy. And it's only getting easier because of technology. But continue.
Yeah, I was talking about something similar. I was on my other friend's podcast.
Big podcast girl, huh?
Yeah, recently only. It's a new hobby. Featuring on podcasts is fun. But yeah, we were talking about this the other day about like people approaching me in the gym, or people like. I have complained about this before, and people have been like, "Oh, like I don't understand the issue," but like I'll post something like a Crunch, and I'll tag Crunch, put Crunch as my location. Then people who have never spoken to me in person will find me on social media, like follow me, I guess through the tag of Crunch or however they find me, and then like DM me stuff. Like I can go through my message requests and you'll see so many weird DMs. Like I can show you. There's like at least 30 I have right now sitting in there unread, or like I've read them but they don't know I've read them.
Send to me after the podcast and we'll like edit it in so people can see it.
Yeah, I will. And like people being like, hope you have a great Saturday, like I don't know, just like the things that like just rub me the wrong way because it's like they're way older than me. I have no idea who they are. Like they're just like, you know, like if it's somebody that has like genuine intentions and like maybe I'm acquainted with, then I'm like, all right, you know, that's fine. But when it's like strangers across the globe, like speaking broken English and sending me like weird stuff, like it's
I just like do they like. I mean, I'm guilty of this too. Like when I was like, I wouldn't even call myself a fuckboy, but like when I was like. Okay, maybe I was a fuckboy in college for like a very minuscule
you
amount of time.
didn't even let people believe you weren't for like a minute. You were just like, all right, maybe I was.
I was such an asshole. But yeah, like I'm guilty of doing that too. Like if I saw like a hot girl and like I wanted to talk to her and like I saw her profile, she was public and it seemed like the vibe to do it, I would do it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't send like a creepy message. I would be like, hey, what's up? Like,
yeah, which is perfectly fine. I think like if you're both, you live in the same area, you have mutual friends, like you can like reach out to somebody. I made friends through social media. If it makes sense to do it, do it. But like the way you're saying it is just like completely random guys that you have no idea who they are. Oh yeah.
Saying weird ass messages because they found you at the gym. Like that's not the way to go about it.
Yeah.
You know, like you have to create a genuine conversation with a person or a girl to even like attract them to your life.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
no, it's true.
But yeah, I think that's super creepy. I've actually had that happen to me too. Like girls are not. I mean, girls are just as guilty.
Oh yeah, no, this is not like a gender thing.
Like I remember one time I went to Porta and this girl like she was like stalking me the entire time. Like I saw her and I was just like, this is really fucking weird.
Yeah.
I woke up the next day and I put up a picture. I didn't geotag Porta, but she fucking found me, added me, and messaged me.
That's weird.
I don't know how she found me if I didn't geotag it.
Yeah, that's freaking weird. Investigative work. Girls can be detectives.
It's scary. It's
Yeah.
scary. You guys could
Really
all
good.
double as like 007, right?
Yeah, good. I've done some shit, but not like that. Just like found out shit, you know what I mean? Like when you need to, you need to.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, guys can do it too.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
But
scary. But yeah, I have like so many like some people from Crunch, some people just from like different parts of the country that just like send me weird ass messages. I get weird comments from people sometimes. I leave them up because like I don't know. It's like
You get those too? I get them from like lately I've been getting them from like guys.
Yeah.
And girls too.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, it's me and my actually my buddy James, like for some reason like in the gay community, like we're very like talked about, and just lately we've been getting a lot of messages from gay guys, which is fine.
Yeah.
Nothing against gay people. I love
Yeah.
gay people. But I don't know, like are we just throwing off that vibe? Like
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing.
Whatever.
Yeah. I think there's been like a lot of experiences that I've had where like people have done things that cross so many lines. You know, guys have done things that have crossed so many lines. But I think, where am I going with this? Like just being a female and dealing with people like hitting on you in uncomfortable situations, saying inappropriate things, like finding your social media, like getting your number somehow, like
Yeah.
there have been so many times like I don't talk about this that much, but I had somebody in high school, I don't think many people know about this. I had somebody in high school, he had graduated, he was in college, and I was like a sophomore in high school. I was very young compared to him, and he would message me and text me all the time. And I was so young, like I would answer sometimes, but I felt something was wrong with it. But like when you're the younger person, like you maybe don't see what's wrong with it. So sometimes I would answer him, sometimes I wouldn't. But he had a girlfriend too, and he would message like this 15-year-old, whatever I was, 15, yeah, like this 15-year-old, and he was like almost 20.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And looking back, like there was a time like a year or two ago where I had forgot this happened, but he lives near me, and I drove by his house, and I was like, oh my god, like that was not okay, that was not right, like that was really wrong. And he would ask to hang out, and I just wouldn't answer. But then sometimes I would answer him because it's like, oh, this is an older guy is talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had like so many experiences like that, like in high school, like people like sending me messages on Facebook like constantly that I wouldn't answer.
Almost trying to like take advantage of you, right?
Yeah, yeah, or just
Well, that's
being
what
like,
it was.
crossing a line. Yeah, there's
That
been
sucks.
so many like situations like that, and the more I've grown, like the more I have realized that, you know, like you kind of just gotta like understand that they don't know. Like the way I think about it is they don't know better. Like unless they're like maliciously trying to do something, which is usually not the case. I just think about it as
I
like
feel like you have to know better. Like in this example, like the guy was 20 years old and he's talking to a 15-year-old girl. Like that's a huge gap.
Yeah.
Like I know people get married and like sometimes like a 35-year-old marries a 30-year-old, but that's not a big deal. Like,
yeah, but they weren't kids, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
The difference is like we're adults.
Yeah.
We're adults now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of like really traumatic things that I've been through, like as a female, but like, you just gotta like I don't know work through it. It's hard. Like it's a touchy subject, but
there's so many more like challenges that you'll face that I won't because you are a girl, which sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I think like I see men and women having equal opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And being treated equally if women have the qualities that men have that make them successful. So like meaning, I don't know if you listen to Jordan Peterson.
For the name.
He's like a clinical psychologist from Canada. Like he's boys with Joe Rogan, and I'm a big Joe Rogan fan. So
yeah,
like
I love Joe Rogan.
Yeah. So he talks a lot. Jordan Peterson talks a lot about how like the big quality that men have that women don't is being disagreeable. Being able to disagree with anybody like in the workplace or in life and being able to be assertive in that sense.
That's a huge thing. I was actually talking about this at my job the other day.
Yeah.
The person I was talking to was saying that she doesn't do well in conflict, and it's hard for her to disagree in situations, even when she knows the person is blatantly wrong.
Yeah.
And that she admired me and my coworker because we are. Like, personally, myself, like, I question everything. I don't care, like, if it's an authoritative figure or, like, it can be, like, literally anyone. Like, if I feel like something's not right, I'll speak up and say it, and I'll speak my mind in a way that's not, you know, like overbearing. If I'm disagreeing with you, let's have a fucking peaceful talk about it. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's a big issue with guys and girls too. Just being so okay with everything and you know, not saying how you feel.
Yeah, I think that like he says that statistically, like men are much more disagreeable than women, and the women that are disagreeable are statistically more successful. So I think there's things that make men and women different. Like I'm not saying like we're the same, and I'm not saying that like we're both the same. And I think personality-wise, like there are differences just because I'm a woman, and differences just because you're a man.
All right, so we just tried to talk about.
Is that a waddle? You just waddle.
Yeah, these pants are tight, and never mind. Sometimes it's just I have to walk a certain way because of where things are placed. But anyways, we tried getting into a deep conversation about how men and women both are pretty creepy when trying to hit on others or like, I don't know, get someone's attention. So we're gonna share some of our weirder DMs that we both get. That'll be an interesting tidbit, but we're gonna wrap things up. Jasmine, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Where can people? No problem. Where can people find you if they want to look you up?
So my Instagram is Jasmine Sawaged.
Sawaged.
No, Sawaged. JASMINESAWAGEDD. There's an extra D at the end.
I'm gonna put in the word right here or somewhere. Hopefully my fingers.
Yeah,
in the
hopefully
right
we
place.
point to it at a certain point. Okay. Yeah. So usually I use Instagram. I don't use Snapchat. I don't use Twitter. I want to start making YouTube videos, but I've said that like every year, and every year I fail to do that.
This is, you know how hard it was for me to get this third podcast down. Like, there's so much editing, and like I always say, like I'm gonna do.
It's a lot of time.
It's a lot. It's draining.
Yeah.
I might just hire someone to do it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I have so much extra time now that I'm only taking 2 classes, so.
Yeah, I expect you to just make some cool content or something.
It's so hard though, because I'm like I don't know what I'm even into anymore, you know? Like
That's for you to figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. So maybe I'll make YouTube videos, but yeah, basically my Instagram is where you can find me, and I have links and things, and I post random shit. There's a lot of videos of me dancing, a lot of videos of me working out. It's basically the 2 things I do.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being on the show. I'll hug you.
Thank you for having me.
No problem.
Okay.
All right, that's a wrap. A Saran wrap.